Long ago, when all you could get for $100 was a feature phone or one based on an antiquated operating system. Nowadays, the increasing competition in the Far East, and in mainland China, has caused prices to tumble down so much, so that there has never been so much choice, if you're after a so-called, mid-market smartphone. Which brings us to a newcomer, Meiz, and its new mid-level device, the Blade, which it describes as being sharper than ever. Now the term mid-level is used quite loosely here, given that this smartphone costs $132, at the time of publishing this video, from Chinese online retailer, Banggood. That's less than half the price of the E-Harrier, which has a worse hardware specification, and a fraction of what you'd expect to pay from the competition, and brand names. Frankly, we would be surprised if Meiz made any profits out of the Blade, given the quality of the components. Cognitive dissonance is what comes to mind when handling the Blade. How can such a posh-looking smartphone cost so cheap? What's the trick? Well, don't look at the finish for corners cut, as we couldn't find any. The glass back is essentially a mirror, with the Meiz logo printed at the bottom, and a dual flash camera sensor, located near the top left corner. A headphone jack, a dual SIM tray, a pair of speakers, a micro USB port, a dedicated camera button, a volume rocker, and the power button, have been scattered over the four metal, beautiful brown colored edges. The front face houses, front-facing camera and a rectangular physical home button, that doubles as a fingerprint sensor. The screen, or the back, is not oleophobic, which translates into far more greasy fingerprints than we'd like to see. But then again, at this price, it's hard to ask for more. The Blade uses components that are usually found in $200 plus smartphones, like an 8-core system on a chip. The one on Meiz's smartphone is a MediaTek MTK6753, clocked at up to 1.5 GHz, with 2 Cortex-A53 core cluster, an ARM Mali T720 GPU, Bluetooth 4.0, LTE, GPS, GLONASS and 802.11n Wi-Fi. The rest is not too shabby as well, 3GB DDR3 memory, 32GB onboard storage, a 13-megapixel rear camera, with a Sony IMX124 sensor, and an 8-megapixel front-facing one, a 5.5-inch, Full HD, IPS touchscreen display, an array of sensors plus a 3000 mAh battery. At 178 grams, and measuring 159 by 77 by 8 millimeters, it feels solid, is well built, and holds comfortably in one's hand. The Meiz Blade runs stock Android 6.0, with little chance of nougat ever landing on the platform. That is sadly a common thing, with many smaller Chinese smartphone vendors, for whom after-sales and firmware support eat into profit margins. There was nothing particularly noteworthy about the performance of the Blade. Subjectively, it performed admirably well, and we loved the smart features that came with it. The Gesture Wake, for example, allows the user to access specific apps from the lock screen, or the Smart Motion uses the smartphone's proximity sensors to perform some common tasks. There's also the Smart Button, which can be configured to access apps that you use frequently. The most useful of them, though, has to be the guest mode, which allows users to offer a different home screen to a guest, complete with granular control on what apps you want them to access. Note that this is not as powerful as, say, Samsung's Knox, but is a decent. Meiz has confirmed that this feature will be available soon, via a firmware update, so we didn't have the opportunity to test it yet. What we have in the balance. A huge smartphone, these are sometimes called phablets, is made of noble materials, with cool camera, 8-core processor, interesting software chips, and all this at an absolutely ridiculous price. At the moment the Meiz Blade can be purchased for $132. Agree, great price for a camera of this level. That's all for now. For more news, stay tuned. And if you want this incredible phone Meiz Blade, at this low price, visit the Banggood link below the video, and enjoy shopping. Bye.